Hello, friends. I think that every video should have a cat in it. That's just my opinion. Um, and it's a good one. And if you're allergic to cats, I hope this won't affect you in any kind of a change fashion. I don't know about you and how this incredible increase of plasma that is surrounding this planet is affecting you. But plasma is what 99.9% of the universe is made of. I might have to put a pillow down here, and I'll use a black and white pillow for the black and white cat. It should color coordinate quite well. She might disappear, but she's not trusting her leap. It's a leap of faith because the pillow goes down on one side. It doesn't look secure, and she's just not sure whether she wants to jump and see if she'll survive. Yeah, jump though. She wants me to help her jump. There you go. You're helped. Okay. Now we may have this metronome going. You're getting very sleepy. Very, very sleepy. She also does question marks, so you might see one of her tail question marks. It's best at YouTube people. I'm kind of smirky, and that smirkiness may come as a result of caffeinated coffee, which I've had some. And I'm actually feeling pretty grounded and pretty in my body for having had coffee, so that's a good sign. It may be that the coffee is helping me with the energetics of this plasma. So when I talk about plasma, I'm not speaking of plasma with any kind of scientific understanding of plasma. I understand, the concept that plasma is possibly blood without blood cells. So the serum, so if you're given plasma in a hospital, I think you're given blood juices. No, that's serum. Yes, I don't know what plasma is. On a scientific level, where actual scientists have been able to determine that 99.9% of the material mass of the universe is plasma. Now, for me, I'm going to make this little part short, but for me, who's been out there to examine and test 99.9% of the universe? I just want to know these people. And how did they get there? And how can you get to the whole universe? And I'm guessing that these people who made this number up are either, God or pretending to be God. And I don't even know about God. I think God's pretending to be God, or the concept of God is pretending to be God, or the thought form of God is pretending to be God. But if I had communication with this thought form that some call God, churches call God, I would ask, what percentage of this material universe that you say, that you brought into existence, consists of plasma? And what is plasma? Do you even know? That'd be the question I'd be asking the supreme leader, supreme source of awareness on the planet, the one who created all this in 6 days and then slept day 7, and then later on sent his son to atone for the sins of his creation. I thought he should send himself Like let the son take over because he messed up, and send yourself down there to be crucified, you know? Why send your son? That's like ancestral. That's like all the ancestral trauma that we carry for our ancestors that are now dead, but they didn't let go of it in their lifetime, so it came into our genetic structure, and now we are holding on to this stuff. Those who are still holding on to it, which is me and maybe you. So I had a wonderful experience today in the um, food bank garden, bagging a variety of things. We bagged lettuce and we bagged a lot of fava beans that are very difficult to bag. They're pointy, and you're putting these long beans inside a bag and putting 24 ounces. It's not 2 pounds, it's a pound and a half, but you're still putting a pound and a half of pointy, like knife-like tip beans into a thin plastic bag and expecting it not to tear. Well, they did tear. And we ended up having to go through every single bean that had been picked already, go through every single bean and nip off the ends of both sides. It took forever. So all we got done was fava beans. And you know, when you get a fava bean, you open it, and then there's these beans, and then you have to take this thin layer off the beans before you eat it. Like, no wonder you don't see them in the store. Who's going to pay somebody how much to pick fava beans and then put them in plastic bags? Which just seems, it'd be nice if we could just set them there and have it like a weigher thing, and then people could weigh their own fava beans in their own bags. Bring your own bags. Just grab a handful, see how much they weigh, and then that's how many points it takes. Because it's a food bank, so there's no cash. It's just like you have points, and you get to buy things with however many points you have. It's a good system. It's feeding people that can't afford to eat otherwise, many of them. I'm bringing it down again. I'm bringing it down again. I'm bringing it down again. I will even bring it down enough I can finish that word again. So I have a field set up, a healing field, a world observational healing field. So I have a field set up, and by watching this video, you will energetically enter this field that will have your helpers and guides in it, because your helpers and guides are who are here to help you heal and help you change the world. So they're your guides. That's why they call them guides. I like it. It's like they're walking us along, and we're not blind. I'm not going to say I'm not dumb, but I'm going to say I'm not blind. I may be obviously somewhat distorted in my vision, but I'm not blind. I might be dumb, and maybe even dumber. Yeah. Whew. Which would you rather be, dumb or dumber? I'd have to go back and watch the movie to see what it was like for the two of them to be Dumb and Dumber. I have no memory of it. I watched the movie, of course, because I have children who were watching movies at that time, and I was the one to take them to these movies. And I actually was entertained by them because they were meant for teenagers, and I was always a teenager. Okay, let's see. We've got 9 minutes already, so I best get to the action. So all I'm going to do is click over to the post that I just wrote. And so here's the post, and just notice what happens to you as you hear the words. So I'm going to be working with some energy. It's a little bit lighter energy. It might not be light for you, but it's lighter energy. And we have an event we're going to see if we can clear while we listen. So here are the words. It's so interesting to watch the choices I make. So imagine that you're saying this to yourself. It's so interesting to watch the choices I make, and only later realize when I was making them from a state of connection and flow or from old habit, like the nuns often wore me out. I'll have none of that. So I'm doing a little bit of parody or something, humor. My wife would say, "You think that's funny?" That always kills a joke. Did you think that was funny? Was that meant to be funny? Okay. So I remember the joy of making up songs as a young child. The piano was my instrument of choice, and after attending my best friend's piano lesson, I thought, that would be fun. A bit later, my parents asked if I would like to take piano lessons. So know that we were a middle-class family in the late 50s, and that gifts were uncommon, except a few at Christmas, and these usually included pajamas. But when I was 7, my parents let me go with my best friends and his mom. She took us to dance lessons, and then he was getting piano lessons, and we were like twins, so I wanted piano lessons. So I went to my first piano lesson, and it was taught by a nun at the school I attended. I was 7 and in first grade. The first time my hands were struck by the nun holding the wooden ruler, I knew I wasn't long for the world of piano lessons. Yeah, and so you may have something that you can relate to, and you might feel that. Now, I'm just going to tell you, when I said those words, and I misspelled it in the post, I put I was long for the world of piano lessons, but I wasn't long to be in the world of piano lessons. I felt my chest just contract. Like here was the thing I maybe loved the most besides my cat. And this person was damaging me for holding my hands improperly. It wasn't until my studies of neurolinguistic programming, which was in the late 1986, I think those started. And so at that time, at 86, from 50, I was 37 years old. And I'm holding I can't see the video because I've got the screen up for what I wrote, but I can feel myself holding this tension, just holding it right now. That's all I'm doing, is just aware, have this tension in my chest, this contraction, and it's really strong. So I'm allowing it to be really strong so you can feel it, not because I couldn't let it go. I could let it go, but it's better for us that I hold it. And that if you're feeling that you hold it too. And then you can hold it and let it go. I'm just going to hold it for now. So it wasn't until my studies of neurolinguistic programming, starting around 1986, that I learned about anchoring, where good or bad, we were taught a lesson. My lesson, what I learned from that lesson at the age of 7 with the nun hitting my hands while I was doing something I loved, the lesson that I got from that was not I want to hold my hands in a better position. The lesson I got was I do not want to touch a piano again in this lifetime. That's how strong that message went into my consciousness. Because I knew she was just going to beat me because I was too free with my hands. My hands just wanted to dance on the keyboard, not be held stiffly like I was an old woman who had a horrid life. I couldn't hold my hands like hers. My hands weren't stiff and crippled like she was, and I'm beginning to feel softness towards her. I'm beginning to feel compassion. I'm beginning to feel kindness, and I realize the tension's coming out of my chest. The lesson I learned was I do not want to touch a piano again in this lifetime. Then I discovered that according to my 14 and 16-year-old athletic brothers, dance lessons were for queers. Again, I was 7, and I was taking dance lessons, and I wasn't sure what they meant by it. So I asked them, I said, "What is a queer?" And they said, "A very bad thing." I thought, oh man. I said, "What should I do?" Whew. And I've been back to this. I've been back to this event many a time. But today I feel like I can forgive them because they were so afraid of having a brother who might be a queer. I said, "What should I do?" They said, "You have 2 choices. One is you quit taking dance lessons. Or 2, we will have to kill you." They were very afraid. My father was very afraid. My father's brother was a homosexual. I found out later that's what a queer is. A queer is a man who loves a man. And there's nothing worse that a person can do, according to my father and my brothers, than to love a man. And I knew my best friend was a man, and I loved him. And I thought, oh, goodness, you quit taking dance lessons or we will have to kill you. And I said, "I think I'll quit dance lessons." He said, "Good decision." Why do I speak of these things now? Because today is a galactic activation portal. During the time these portals are open, we can heal anything that we wished healed. I've set up a healing field, and all of us can allow into consciousness any event from the past that we would like to finish and be done with. So you may have something come to your mind, or you may be in consciousness back at an event long ago where all of us were, that was traumatic to us on a soul level, that we went back to and are back at right now in this healing field. And we can let go of the energy of that event now. Just feel it as it comes off. This was a big event. This affected all of us in a very large way. And if you feel the sadness coming out of your chest, or the anger coming out of your chest, or the fear coming out of your chest or your body, and if you're feeling this in other places in your body, that's okay. But this is what it feels like to release all of that energy gently and easily. We don't have to wail. We don't have to cry. We don't have to shout. We don't have to fly. We don't have to run away. We don't have to do anything. We can just be with these and say, wow, these are really uncomfortable feelings. No wonder I didn't want to have them when I was 7 years old, or when that trauma happened in some other lifetime, or my ancestors couldn't get over it. And then I just ended up with it because I have their genes. Yeah. And just keep feeling it come out. Feel it, feel it, feel it come out. Feel it come out of your arms, feel it come out of your legs, feel it come out of your head, your chest, your abdomen, your heart. Feel it come out of your heart. We're just completing some events that would be called karma, because karma is just unfinished business, and we're finishing some business by being at the event on a soul level and letting go of the energies of it. And I started moving around, and Bastet started moving around. So Bastet cats are major soul healers. Like, you can look it up, Edgar Casey and soul healing cats. They're all soul healing. They're all soul healers. Okay. Now, this event has been released. And so sometimes the effect of that release can go on for a while. And I'm not even going to give you time. It could go on. I will give you some idea of time. It could go on for another hour, or it could go on for a few days. But it's just releasing because you've released the event. So it's just your body adapting to that change. And so now the last part of this healing field I'm going to do right now, it involves an invocation. I'm invoking some beings to help us do this next part of this. So I invite the interdimensional being, and Thoth, and Ra. I invite our deep self. Feel yourself tap into your deep self. I invite our deep self, our higher self, and our highest self, and our soul guides, and our helpers and guides assist all the souls that return to this event, that event or that event. It could be in whatever direction it is for you, or a different direction than I'm showing. But all the souls that we invited back to the event to release and integrate the energy of the event for themselves, I invite them to take the support of these beings to help us connect with that part of our soul that returned to the event with that part of our soul that had remained at the event since it happened, and let that combined soul come back into our body in present time with all of its wisdom, power, and clarity, its compassion, its creativity, and its kindness, and with love and peace and joy. I ask all the souls in their human bodies to ground themselves into the healing center of the earth and open up the portal for the delivery of these new energies into the earth at this time. That's why we released that event, so we could bring in new energies. And I may be doing this every day to the end of this Mayan year, which will be on the 24th of July. So I might be doing this every day. I don't know. Just depends what I'm asked to do, and I typically do it when I'm asked. Okay, so we have the portal open, and so I ask that these new energies, and they'll come typically in through your crown. If your crown's open, these energies will come in through your crown. I ask that these new energies for the upliftment of the planet be brought in now. I get these funny feelings, and I sometimes think I make funny looks, and I could actually have my video on, but I don't want to look at what a funny look I might be making. But these energies are coming through, and you may be feeling them. They may be too much for you to feel, but they may not be, and you may just feel these energies come in. They may come in faster for some and slower for others. This is the speed I feel that they're coming in. Sometimes they just go whoosh, and sometimes they come in like this, in like steps, like the energies are coming in steps. And it hasn't happened like this before, but it may be because there are so many souls on the planet who just cleared this event and are bringing this new energy into the planet from all over the world. Ireland, Spain, Canada, South America, Ukraine, Russia, Germany, Turkey, Iran. I just did a session with a person in Iran within this past year. And I have clients from Iran I've done a lot of work with. Yeah, one of my clients just came back from Spain. I think it was Argentina that just had massive earthquakes and thousands of people passed away. And we're bringing these energies in to heal the earth. And I can't remember a time when there's been this much energy coming in. And that's because you're available to help with it to come in. And all the souls that helped with this event. And it used to be a lot more difficult than this, but with the number of souls we're working with now, it's gotten somewhat easier. And if you're having a kind of a difficult time with these energies, if you're possibly new to this type of thing, just you'll get better at it, and just like let go, don't hold on to the energy, just let it move through you. Okay, and then I ask that those energies be activated. And I let the universe and beyond know that this has been done and that it's good. And that's the healing session for today, and I appreciate your participation. And it doesn't matter when you do it, it'll always be now when you do it. And it may be that you did it now, and that when you watch the video, it'll be now. And what a joy for me to do this with you, and to have so many people I've connected through the internet who are working with me now and doing these things. That I had about 110 people that were helping me with the World Healing Field over the last 6.5 years. And now there's thousands. And the more of us doing this, the easier it gets for all of us. It's never easy for me, but I'm looking forward to the time when it's easy and just filled with joy. Sometimes now it's just filled with pain, but that's released. So we're releasing pain, and to me that's useful. Okay, that's it for now again. And thank you so much for witnessing this, and for the degree that you felt like you could participate in it. And don't judge yourself, because the depth at which you could participate today was the depth that you could participate. You could not participate more than you did, because you have beings that are taking care of you, and they'll only let you do so much for good reason. If you try to push it, you'll find out what that good reason was. All right. Now let's go. And now can change. Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm grateful. One more big breath. And then just let go of the whole thing. All right. Be well.